Rocky, you're the first person I see. Hello. Let me go ahead and change
There,
my
I got
name.
it. Got it open.
Let me change my name on here.
At least your echo tapping is the right direction.
Yes, I'm so excited. Well, they sent us two. And so I just grabbed the first one and then I was like, that's not right. So, so then yeah, we fixed it. We fixed it.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
You're looking different since
Am I?
since the first time that we met on video.
hmm
You have a there's I'm going to use the word lightness about you.
Really?
There's a softness about you that
Oh,
since
thank
the
you.
since the first time that I met you. I am looking different.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah, I noticed it on
I
the
just,
call the other day, and then I wasn't leading the call, so I didn't want to just, chime in. So
oh, well, that's very
I'm
nice.
so
I
apt to do
appreciate that.
anyways.
I feel like I've come a long way since I started working with the group, and I really do want to start working with a coach. I just have so much going on. I haven't had the time to, do the VIP. In fact, what is the VIP address?
VIP support.
Yeah, well, there is it
Oh,
VIP support?
VIP support at brittanywatkins.com. And I'm actually going to open up my calendar too. So we have Coach Aaron, Coach Teresa, Coach Casey, and Coach Dawn. Oh, there's Casey. Hi. Um, and then I'm going to open up mine. So we've got, like I said before, we've got some amazing coaches,
Okay.
very
Do we
intuitive.
have a choice if we feel we resonate with someone better?
I believe so. Casey, do you want to add into that?
Yes, as far as I know,
Yeah.
we all have bios available as well, but I know on these calls you kind of get to know each of us. So,
Mhm.
as far as I know, as long as we've got availability, which I'm sure everyone does at this point, you could pick who you want to work with.
Okay. I was
So
wondering about that.
if you do reach out to support to request coaching and you have a preference, I would say just let them know up front.
Okay.
Otherwise, they might just assign you. They probably do it in a rotation or something like that. So I'd put that
Okay.
in the note to support.
Okay. That sounds great. Love it.
hmm
I just need to get that kicked into gear.
Kick it in.
Yep. Yep.
All right. I'm going to open up the chat. Sometimes when I'm leading the call, though, I don't really watch the chat. I'm watching y'all instead. So don't hesitate as well to raise your virtual hand, raise your real hand. In fact, I'm going to put it on gallery view so I can see everyone. And for those of you who have your cameras on, thank you. It just helps me connect. I understand that some people do not want to turn their cameras on for various reasons. And but if you have your hair in a baseball cap or a chip clip or um, you're just thinking, oh, I'm not ready for camera. Come on, if you're welcome. I mean, if you're comfortable doing so, come on camera. It helps everybody connect actually with everybody's face as opposed to the name in the uh just the name in the chat. So in fact, I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, maybe I'll just put my baseball cap on just as a, so if anybody wants to put a baseball cap on, go ahead. So anybody, so welcome to today's buddy group. It is Thursday, February 19th. And normally Casey, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Casey. Normally Teresa has this call, and she's on an airplane right now, so we're taking it for her. But as we come into a buddy call, this is a place for community. It's a place to bring your wins. It's a place to bring your struggles or challenges that you're having either with the program or just kind of in general. And then we go through that and we do some tapping. I do not have anything scripted for today, but I am willing and ready to to work with anybody who wants to come on. So you can just unmute yourself, and let me make sure that you all can do that. Yeah, anybody who wants to speak. I think Casey, you can just take and Rocky, you guys can just take yourself on and off mute. Is that correct? Sometimes yeah, it stops people from doing that, but okay. Anybody have anything for today? How was Valentine's Day? How did you get through that? I know we've already had a buddy call this week, but how did people get through either the weekend or just regular stuff? Oh my gosh, don't all talk at once.
I was going to say Valentine's Day is always difficult because Valentine's Day is the 14th and the 16th is my birthday. And, without having Dean, Dean was so big with cards. He liked the tangible cards. And I had saved all the cards from when we first met. Easter, Christmas, Valentine's Day, every season had a card. And I had saved all of them. And when he passed, my daughter did a wall of all the cards we had ever sent to each other. And that was really special.
What a beautiful tribute.
It was.
Yes.
It's beautiful. So, yeah, Valentine's Day was like any holiday that Hallmark says is a holiday. He met it with a card.
Oh, what a special, sweet man.
And the other thing was, let me get a Kleenex here. He passed away on February 1st. And as we were and he was a tax accountant, so I didn't see much of him from January 1st to April 15th. And when we were cleaning out his desk, we found my birthday card and we found my Valentine's Day card and a box of chocolates that he had ready for me. So he planned ahead.
What a sweet, beautiful man. And you said it's been 6 years, correct?
It's been 6 years, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what beautiful memories. What a cherished time. Yes, yes. Oh, I love the wall of cards though, that tribute there. How beautiful. Yeah,
was
thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm a big proponent of Valentine's Day in that I think the most important relationship that we will ever have is the one we have with ourselves. And so many times we look for external validation, external, appreciation, love, and we're not taught to, generally speaking, we're not taught to really love ourselves. And it truly is. I mean, that's the longest relationship you're ever gonna have is the one you have with yourself. So I know I posted some things on Valentine's Day just to, really appreciate yourself, love yourself, smile at yourself in the mirror when you walk by a reflective surface. This is kind of off topic, but when my daughter was really young, I used to think she was really vain. I'm kind of a hippie at heart and pretty not high maintenance. And my daughter just from the get-go loved reflective surfaces. She just used to like to look at herself. She would dance, she would, smile, and I used to tease her for it. And as she got a little bit older, I'm like, man, you're a jerk to myself, not to her. I'm like, why would I ever want to squelch that? And I realized it was my own programming from when I was a kid, people saying things to me. And I thought, why would it, that awareness? I'm like, honey, let's shine up the side of that car. Let's, let's just make sure you have somewhere that you can smile and dance and watch yourself, in a mirror. So again, the relationship you have with yourself. And I know that's part of why people are here too, is to nurture and understand, and maybe even for a moment get a glimpse of what that looks like, is to love yourself. So thanks, Rocky. Anybody else? Anybody have anything they want to tap on?
Well, I'll chime in. First of all, thanks for sharing your story, and that's so sweet. What a great memory to have forever, um, from your husband. So, my name is Octavia, and I'm actually brand new to the program. This is my first, I just joined this week. And so I'm just like trying to get into every single meeting I can get into. I haven't even done the orientation yet, because I couldn't join the one on Monday. Um, and I was actually introduced to Brittany probably like 8 years ago, and 7 or 8 years ago, and I did the self-guided Think and Thin program, which I probably got 50% of the way through on my own, and have decided just like this just continually is coming up as a recurring theme for me in terms of like figuring out how to um not manage, how to strengthen and heal my relationship with food. And so I took the leap and joined this program this time around. So it was kind of my Valentine's Day present to myself.
Well, welcome, Octavia. And we do have an orientation welcome call tomorrow morning. Believe it's 10 a.m. Pacific, and it's right before our buddy call, which is 11 a.m. Did I say p.m.? 10 p.m.? It's 10 a.m.
No, you said AM,
Okay.
10 AM.
10
I'm
a.m.
never, I don't stay up that late.
So-
Casey, did you have something?
Oh, I said 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah. 10 a.m. Eastern, and the buddy call is 11 a.m. So that's kind of nice too. If you get, you get the welcome, I'll walk you through the portal, the student portal, the Facebook, where the calendar is, which I'm guessing you've already gotten access to. But just kind of to run you through the portal of your materials so that you have a better idea where everything is. And so, yeah, I encourage you. And that is not a one and done. I've said it before. If somebody has already been on that and wants to review some things or ask some questions about where things are, you're more than welcome to come see us again. We do them on the first Monday of the month. And then after Brittany does her weekend, I'll call them retreats, but her live webinar things, we always do the Monday and Friday of that week too, just because we do have new students and we want to make sure that people are finding the material. It doesn't do anything for you if you invest in the product, invest in yourself, and you can't access the material. So, or you feel overwhelmed by it. And we don't want that at all. So yeah, so I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And anybody else? Octavia, is there any questions that you have so far?
Um, I mean, I probably have a lot of questions. I think so I've actually done her weekend retreat type thing a couple times as well. And I think the one thing that state has I've done a lot of work on this topic over the last 10 years, probably. And I think the one thing that stands out for me is like sometimes some of like I don't know, I'm going to call them standard because I'm sure, but I use that term lightly because I'm sure not everybody has, it's not kind of standard, but the primary, like some of the standard things she talks about, aren't really my problems. Like my problems aren't having memories of a child of being told you have to eat everything on your plate. My memories as a child from like 4 years old is you're fat and you shouldn't eat everything on your plate. And so, like, it didn't dawn on me actually until this last one that I did with her, even with all this work that I've done, that I was like, well, wait, actually, that doesn't resonate for me at all. Um, and so just trying to figure out like how to create my own scripts for myself, um, that are like specific to my issues that I don't think, I don't know why it took me 8 years or 10 years to realize like, oh, that's actually not my thing, but it did. So, um, so anyway, yeah, like that, I am definitely interested in like getting some guidance around. Um,
Okay, you're bringing up a point of how, like me with my daughter and the shiny reflective surfaces, right? I was always told, take it down a notch. You're too much. You're too happy, basically. You're quit smiling all the time, quit tap dancing, quit, just I just enjoyed life. And I was told all the time to knock it down. And the only reason I bring that up is because then I put that on my daughter. And when I realized that, I thought, shame on me for doing that. But it's amazing how many people tell their kids that they're fat, and they don't take into consideration how much growing a child is doing, right? There's just, kids kind of chub up a little bit and then they get tall, and they chub up and they get tall, and it's really so detrimental that we put these just negative connotations and just can't let a child be a child. Again, not that it's about me, but I was really tall really early, and I'm about 5'11". But I always got told, oh, you're such a big girl. You're such a big girl. Well, of course, what do you think? I'm this big marshmallow, man, girl. So I understand that these things that people are telling us, and then we start believing them because we love our parents, or we at least I was going to say we might not love them, but we look up to them, and they're our authority figures, and then they're telling us these things that may or may not be true, but it really messes with our brains. So I'm sorry that you ever told as a child that you were fat, and it doesn't really matter what you looked like, or if you were slender or had some extra weight on you. What matters is that you get to redefine that relationship and that identity with you. And that's one thing that you can do here in this space too, is just redefine that identity. So we can do a little bit of tapping on that. Maddie, I wanted to check in with you real quick. I saw you take yourself off mute.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so sorry I was late. I'm caregiver to my son, and I can't always plan around his emergencies. He's bedridden. So yeah, I'm sorry. What is the theme for today?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't have an.
Well, because it's Teresa.
Wherever we go.
Coach Teresa had the call, and to be honest, I was helping my mother this afternoon, so I raced home for the call, and I thought, oh, I'm just gonna go with whatever we need. It's not like the study groups where we kind of follow the program, so each study group has a theme that we're focusing on, or at least helping the students out with. Today is just, I have ideas all the time, but I like to kind of get what's going on with the collective and see if we can't work on something with that. So is there something in particular that you have?
No, I've had a good week. Something Britt said a while ago really resonated with me this week, and that was just stop and feel the feeling. So whatever you're doing, just stop and feel the feeling. And that's really helped me so much. I raced through the whole program, through Think and Thrive, and just couldn't get myself to do the last push the lettuce away. I didn't think it really applied that much anyway, but every time it came up, I sort of pushed the thought away, and I finally just stopped and felt the feeling as to why I'm pushing it away, and I realized I was resisting it and that there had to be a reason for that. And yeah, I did a lot of tapping around that, and some old repressed memories came up, and it was some more around some of the old themes I've had, but from a completely different perspective. So that was really very helpful. A really good section to do. It's right at the very end, Octavia, if you're starting off. I'm about 3 months into the program. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. It's been a good week from a program perspective. The other thing was I met up with a buddy, and earlier in the week I was having a hard week. It was just hard all the way around with my son, and with the program I just wasn't gelling. And I was chatting to her about it and saying, I know my metabolism is so messed up that it's going to take me a long time, and I'm probably going to put on weight before I lose weight because it is just so messed up. And I have a deadline on it because there's a wedding in November and I'm the mother of the groom, so I don't want to be fat in all the photos. So, a bit of added pressure. And she said, oh, well, you're not going to lose weight unless you get a glucose monitor, and glucose monitors are the way to go and the thing to do. And I'm writing all this down, and that night I'm off to get the latest and greatest glucose monitor. And then I realized that was stop and feel the feeling. And that's just me escaping the program, isn't it? It's, while glucose has a lot to do with it, I've just managed to stop getting on the scales. So for me to now start obsessing about glucose figures is another whole dimension I haven't even explored yet. So I figured just stop, stick with the program, go with what Casey said on that, go with what Britt says, just do the 3 meals a day and listen to the body signals and stick with that. And I've been a lot more at peace, and it was really great being able to recognize why I'm jumping from thing to thing to thing, and diet to diet to diet, and that it's got to end. It can't carry on like that. And this is the end. So, yeah, that was my week in a nutshell.
That's some wonderful awareness. And, our subconscious, its job is to keep us safe. Its job is to, sorry, I just got a notice that I might lose internet. Our internet provider just sent something. So forgive me for distraction. Our subconscious is absolutely, its job is to keep us safe, and it's to protect the identity that we believe we are. So, like Octavia, when we have this identity, or myself, to speak for myself, that I'm this big girl, and realize that I look at pictures, I was skinny as a rail, but in my head, I was a big girl because that's what people, especially my family, kept telling me. And throughout this adventure and this journey in with Brittany and her programs, to be able to understand all of that old conditioning and our subconscious trying to keep us safe. And every time we do things, she said it before, when sometimes when you join this program, you will gain some weight because your body is like, oh my God, this stuff's going to work. And then who am I going to be? Who am I going to be if I don't have a weight problem? Who am I going to be if I actually get up and exercise? Who am I going to be if I clear my trauma? So our bodies are, not our bodies, but our subconscious sometimes goes into a panic mode and wants to keep us safe. And maybe we do some tapping today around feeling safe and that judgment that we often feel in trying to do something new, especially when you don't have the buy-in from people around you. And it could be your family, it could be your children, it could be your employer, it could be your friends, where they feel threatened because you're doing something different. You're changing the dynamics of the relationship just because you're changing the dynamics within yourself. And that can make people really uncomfortable because then they have to kind of come to terms with, oh, she's doing something really good for herself. Gosh, what am I doing for myself? And you'll get some, resistance sometimes from people in your circle. So, is there any objection to me just kind of, I want to say winging it, but that's not really a professional term, but really kind of going into some tap. I'm gonna take this off. That was just for let you know if you have a baseball cap on, you can show up that way too. Are we okay with doing some tapping there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just
Yeah.
if I could just add to that, and what you've just said is the whole glucose monitor thing was right for my buddy. Love her dearly, and it was right for her at the stage that she's at and for what she's doing and her history. But I was, wanting to climb on that bandwagon and just assume it's a right for me as well. And yeah,
I will
love
say
her
with the
dearly, and wasn't bad advice. It just wasn't right advice for me.
and I don't think there's anything wrong with the glucose monitors. And I'll, I
Yeah.
have experience with this too, as my partner of 15 years. He's recently come to terms with he's diabetic, and he has been denying it for a good couple years, but he can't any longer. So he got some glucose monitors as a first step. And then he's like, here, you try one. And so just on Sunday, he smacks one in the back of my arm, and it's fascinating. It is fascinating. Now, I don't need to watch my numbers, but it has been fascinating to watch my numbers, because as I log food in my fitness app, I can actually see where that food is, and how eating something like a simple carb versus a complex carb versus protein with a carb, how differently my body reacts. So Maddie, it's not a bad thing. It can be great information. It's not gonna
Yeah,
in
that's my
itself,
point.
it's not gonna make you
It's
lose
a
weight.
great device, but
Yeah.
horses for courses.
Yeah, that what did you just say?
Horses for courses. Do
I
you
don't
not
know.
use that?
I don't know.
It's the right horse for the right course.
Oh, okay. So it is a
Yeah.
great device, and it provides a ton of information, but it's just a device. It's not, unless you actually use the data, it really doesn't do anything to help you lose weight. But again, they're so available right now over the counter, without a prescription. And if it's something you want to explore, just to get more data for yourself, just to get an idea of where you are and how food affects you, just that awareness may help you make some changes. So,
I totally agree with you, but when there is so much food noise in your head already, that is another thing I'm going to completely obsess about. I think sticking with the basic principles of what comes out of glucose monitors is fine. Eat your protein first and stick with the complex carbs and eat enough protein. That's the baseline of how I understand it. I don't need a monitor to tell me that, but at this point, to start getting data on things is going to be very detrimental to me, I think.
okay. That about yourself is
Yeah.
powerful. Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm going to divert just a little bit. Sometimes people with eating disorders, that data they can get very fixated on.
Yeah.
And as opposed to it just being information to help make decisions, they can go overboard and fixate. And then it becomes, again, like you said, more noise that doesn't help them actually move towards a winning goal for themselves. So.
And for some of us, that's the problem. We go from noise to noise to noise. Each diet comes with its own noise. And I've got a history of about 500 diets, all with their own programs running in the background. And I need to clear them before I start looking and get the basics right before I move on. But at some point, I can see I would be very interested. I'm already really interested in that data. I'm drawn towards it. I would love to buy one, but I can see that it's more noise at this stage. Yeah.
Okay, before we begin, I want to just invite everyone to just take a breath, slow down, just be really present. Don't worry about the external noise, whether that's your phone, the TV, thoughts of work, or what somebody else might be doing right now that you need to worry about. Just really sit, grounded. We want to gently detach from everything but yourself. And we're going to do some tapping. I want you to, as the feelings come up, make note of them, feel them, as we said, to really stop and feel the feelings. We don't want to drown in them, but we want to just feel them. And then begin to recreate an identity in ourselves with respect, neutrality, and then just safety in our body. Okay, so this is just about stopping the noise and recreating, feeling safe, and maybe recreating who we think we are. So I just want you to, on the karate chop point, deep breath, shoulders back. Even though I have complicated feelings about my body. And some of these feelings have been here a long time. I deeply and completely accept myself in this moment. Even though my body has been a source of struggle, judgment, or pain, I'm open to being kind to myself. And even though some of these not so nice feelings and skewed identity have been living within me for years, I'm choosing to deeply and completely accept myself right now. Your eyebrow. These feelings about my body, all the thoughts that I've had about it, under your eye, the frustration, there's been sadness or even disappointment, under your nose, the tension I carry about my body. On your chin, some of it feels heavy. Most of it carries some strong emotions. Some of it lives in my body or on my body. And just, I'm going to allow myself to notice what's here. And then just take a quick breath. And if you can, audibly exhale, just let it out. Of course, I feel this way. On your eyebrow, side of your eye. I've lived in this body every day. I've absorbed other people's messages, expectations, and comparisons. Under your nose. Some of them were absolutely not fair. Many of them were not kind. And I've been doing the best that I could. With what I knew at the time. It makes sense that I might have felt that way. But this is the important part. My body is not my identity. My body is something that I live in. Not something that defines my worth. I am more than my appearance. I'm more than just a number, a size, or a shape. I'm more than my judgments. I am a whole person having a whole experience. What if I didn't need to fight my body? Just what if? What if I could just listen to it instead? Because no matter what I look like in the mirror, this body has carried me through my entire life. Even when things were hard, even when I was hard on it, there's been such grace. Maybe my body's been on my side this whole time. In its own imperfect way. Again, just stop for a second, take a breath. We'll keep going. I'm open to a new relationship with my body. I am someone who lives in a body, my body. In its own imperfect way. My body deserves respect. Even on days that I don't love it. Even on days that I struggle with who I think I might be. I can choose neutrality. I can choose compassion. I can choose safety. Because who I am now is not who I was. Who I was is not who I'm becoming. I'm becoming more of me every day. Okay, stop tapping. Again, take a breath. Me, personally, I roll my shoulders back. I just want to let everything off. And just kind of notice your body. We don't have to fix it. We just need to notice it right now. Any comments, anything come up, any resistance, any anger, any sadness? Margaret.
Hi, I have noticed that as we go through different scenarios, that I do a few rounds, and even when we're still saying, even though I do this or feel that, things that I guess resonate with me, I start yawning.
That's
And-
fantastic.
And it's like, oh, a release. And it's just real interesting because I noticed in several places, oh, I'm yawning again. And I know that's a good sign because when I do the rant and tap, I know that letting go of all that, I just wear out sometimes. I am pooped. So, but it's very interesting that it has really started happening more for me. So I'm very pleased about that.
Well, I want to say congratulations and thanks for bringing that up, because as we start moving the energy, so I've always said when people ask me what I do and I tell them about EFT, and I don't think I made it up. I've stole it from somewhere. I just can't remember from where. But we've got all these rivers of energy in our body. And with every, whether it's sexual trauma, boundary violations, snarky comments, unmet expectations, whatever that is, it's like throwing big boulders into the river. And so eventually the river isn't, running smooth and peaceful anymore. It's all choppy, and sometimes it gets stopped up altogether, dammed up. And EFT has this amazing way of being able to just pull those boulders out, put them off to the side. They're still there. The event that caused something might still be there. The comment might still be there, but our perspective changes. How we're able to self-regulate around those comments or events or memories changes until we can just pull these rocks out, and then the river just starts moving again. The thing with yawning, fabulous. Some people burp, some people start crying, some people giggle. So it's a wonderful testament to how this is moving in your body. And thank you for bringing that up. I'm really excited to hear that, actually.
No, also, you're talking about water. I kind of equate it with ripples, where you throw the rock and it plonks, but then there's all the ripples that go out from it.
And that's true too. I work a lot with first responders in offshoot of this. And I think about the ripples all the time, because with first responders, as I help them learn these tools and self-regulate, it affects how things are in the firehouse or in their platoons or at their house, in their home environment too. So that is a beautiful metaphor and illustration of just exactly what the benefits of EFT can accomplish, not just for the person experiencing it, but how it changes them and then changes those relationships around them as well. So Margaret, you are spot on. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful script.
Oh, yeah, most of the time I don't write scripts for the most part. I kind of go with what everybody is saying and how you couldn't ask me to repeat it. I couldn't come up with it again. So you're welcome.
That's why the replays are so important, because I will take my phone and get to the part where the tapping is and I'll record it, and then I have it on my phone.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything come up or other thoughts or other experiences as we tap through that?
I had a really thank you as well. I would say that was really beautiful. So appreciate it. Appreciate you guiding us through that. I had a really strong reaction uh when you used the word imperfection or imperfect. And it wasn't the same kind of like emotion or sensation that I felt in other points of the tapping exercise. Um, and it was like a hatred
Mm,
type sensation, like that level of, I don't know, that kind of level of emotion.
okay.
Anyway, so that was just something that came up for me. I had a really hard time with that.
Okay.
And like being accepting of that or something. I don't know exactly. I have to dissect it and process it a little more, but it was an interesting reaction.
How on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being nothing and 10 being ultra, ultra high, where was that reaction with the word imperfection?
Oh, like an probably somewhere like an 8 or a 9. Like it was strong.
Okay, let's let's tap on that again. Um, again, just notice what comes up. Breathe, no judgment, no, we're not, yeah, we're not judging ourselves, we're just noticing. So even though part of me feels flawed, broken, or even not enough, I don't like that that's there. I can feel it intensely. And I'm choosing to deeply and completely just accept where I am right now. And even though I struggle with being imperfect or perceived as imperfect, I'm open to just noticing that about myself right now. That's all. And even though I don't always live up to the expectation I have of myself, I love that I'm imperfectly perfect, just as I am. On your eyebrow. Sometimes there's the self-hatred. And I have some pretty harsh thoughts about myself. I even have some pretty harsh words to myself sometimes about all the ways I feel imperfect, all the ways I should be better. The parts of me that need to be different or fixed. This pressure to be someone or something else. I'm acknowledging this without any judgment right now. What if imperfection is just part of being human? What if absolutely nothing is wrong? I know I've learned to hate parts of myself. And I was just trying to survive. Those parts were protecting me. Those parts were taking care of me in the moment. And maybe I don't need to love myself today. Maybe neutrality is enough. Neutrality, maybe neutrality. I can be human and still be worthy. What is perfection? I don't think there's anything that's true about perfection. As soon as I think I'm perfect, something else is going to come up. What if I could just be for a moment? Just be. I don't have to do. I don't have to prove. I can just be me. Exactly how I am in this moment. And stop tapping. Take a breath. And did that go up or down or stay the same?
It definitely went down. Yeah, that was easier for my body to accept.
Was there any resistance or anything in there? You know, sometimes when we're tapping, we hear this, yeah, right, or that's not true, or yeah, you wish. Is there anything in there that was kind of fighting you?
Um, no, not
Oh, great.
really.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there were some small hints, but it was not like the feeling, it wasn't like the reaction that I got when you said it in the first tapping
And
exercise. Like I
you
was
were
able to
at
like
a state of
work,
mind? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was able to like work through it and like the different language around like making mistakes as part of being human, like helped my body understand that that's okay.
And if you were to repeat that word again, that, you know, being in the imperfection, where you were 8 or 9 before, where are you now?
Um, Probably like a 4,
Okay.
like a 4 or a 5. It's still there, but it's come down.
Okay. Let's tap just a little bit more, see if we can get just a little bit lower on that, okay? We'll skip the hand. I feel better. I don't have to be perfect. I like to feel like I'm doing my best. And I have high expectations. What if I just let those expectations go? What if I trade expectations for appreciation? What if I trade expectations to anticipation? What if I allow myself to be curious? What if I get rid of my expectations? Or at least ask myself, whose expectations are they really? Did I learn them from someone else? Are they old beliefs? Is it true that I have to meet these expectations? What if in this moment I can just take a breath and just smile at being right here, right now? That's all I need to do is be right here, right now. Besides, perfect is boring. Okay, stop tapping. Thanks, Casey, for that last. You made my closer line fabulous. And Octavia, how are you doing?
Good. Yeah, it's definitely come down. It's definitely changed.
All right, and I want you to drink some water. And I want you to move your body a little bit, get that energy moving. Okay. And we create a lot of heat in our brain when we're doing this work. You know, we're working on the subconscious, we're working on energy levels that we can't see, that oftentimes move much faster than our bodies ever will. And it's really important to stay hydrated and, you know, just to keep that water, little sips. It doesn't have to be big chugs of water, just some little sips, you know, just allow yourself to kind of replenish all the work that you're doing internally. So anybody else have anything? I just looked at the time and I'm thinking, are you kidding me? It's almost 5 o'clock, or well, it's 5 o'clock Pacific. We have 5 minutes left. How that went by so fast. Any questions? Thanks, Rookie. Okay, again, we have orientation call tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, and then a buddy group. I'll be there. I'll be leading tomorrow's buddy group as well. Tomorrow, immediately following the welcome orientation. And so everybody, come as you are, because that is where you find your perfection, is just to show up exactly how you are in the moment. So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We couldn't do this without you. We'd just be talking to ourselves, and I do that enough at home. I don't need to do it on camera. So, all right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, ladies.